Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. A door-to-door solar representative was hospitalized after an attack in Yucca Valley. On Monday at around 3:45 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a chemical attack on Desert Gold Drive near Emerson in Yucca Valley. The Sheriff's Department says that the victim was a salesperson, and witnesses say the victim was representing a solar company. Witnesses say that the resident of the home attacked the salesperson with pepper spray and a machete. A witness told Z107.7 that there was a struggle and neighbors helped separate the suspect and the victim. Deputies say the victim was treated at the scene and transported to a hospital. They say that the suspect was reported fleeing the scene on a bicycle with a machete in a backpack. No arrests have been made, and the Sheriff's Department says that the investigation is ongoing. Shortly after midnight this morning, a brief but intense series of lightning strikes descended into Joshua Tree and Yucca Valley, igniting at least one fire inside Joshua Tree National Park. Online news editor Robert Hayden witnessed the storm and has this report.
The fire appeared halfway up one of the hills that forms the northern border of Joshua Tree National Park, right after the skies in Joshua Tree lit up with lightning and rolling thunder came in from the south. The fire was visible to the naked eye from the Friendly Hills in Joshua Tree and appeared to be located near the Black Rock campground area of the national park. A resident that I spoke to in the Friendly Hills neighborhood said that they called 911 to report the fire and were transferred to San Bernardino County Fire for the report. First appearing as a small orange light on the hill, the fire seemed to be growing quickly, and by 12:15 a.m. the flames had visibly grown on the mountain but still appeared contained to a small area. Sirens could be heard responding from Yucca Valley, and emergency lights were also seen driving toward the park. Winds at the time were calm, but the thunder and lightning continued over the park and headed north-northeast towards Yucca Valley. Other emergency lights and sirens could be seen on Highway 62 traveling toward areas where heavy lightning had just passed over. While there was no measurable rain in Joshua Tree, the unmistakable smell of creosote came in from a north-moving wind, possibly indicating that the area around the fire was receiving some rain. Just a half an hour later, the light from the fire appeared to have diminished and the sky began to clear as the storm steadily moved north toward the Mesa and Landers. An hour later, around 1:45 a.m., the orange glow from the fire appeared to have almost completely dimmed, reduced to a small point of orange light still visible once your eyes adjusted. A man-made light source could also be seen making its way towards the fire on the hill. And by 3 a.m., both the orange glow and the man-made lights could no longer be seen from Joshua Tree. Just 10 days ago on Sunday, October 12th, a fire also lit off in the trails south of Black Rock Campground. That fire is 100% contained at 72 acres. The fire was handled by the Bureau of Land Management and the National Park Service, both of which have had staffing levels affected by the month-long federal government shutdown. Emails to the NPS and BLM inquiring about the cause of that fire were either not returned or auto-responded to with a notice saying that no one was available to read the email. We've reached out to the San Bernardino County Fire Department for more information on Wednesday morning's fire inside Joshua Tree National Park, and Z107.7 will update this story as more details become available. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
The suspect in a hit-and-run collision from last year returned to court yesterday morning, and the case will proceed later this week. Here's reporter Adeline J. Wells with more from court.
Troy Reynolds, the suspect in a fatal 2024 hit-and-run collision, returned to court yesterday morning for a pre-preliminary hearing before Judge James Taylor. Attorney Jason Getzla was present for the prosecution, and Attorney William Sassnet appeared on behalf of Attorney James Rogan for the defense. Sassnet confirmed that the defense was prepared to proceed with the preliminary hearing, scheduled for Thursday, October 23rd. Judge Taylor will then determine whether probable cause has been established and if the case has merit to proceed to trial. Troy Reynolds is charged with felony hit and run resulting in permanent injury or death. He is currently out on $500,000 bail. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
The Twentynine Palms Planning Commission approved the moving forward of a development of a 30-unit resort manufactured entirely from 3D printed materials. Here's Annalise Kuiper with more.
A public hearing was held regarding the development of a resort comprising 30 200-square-foot 3D printed units. 4.5 million recycled plastic bottles would go into creating this resort. Also included would be 2 community buildings, a covered patio, and a pool and spa area. The gravel parking lot would be located on the south side of the property, while ADA parking and pathways would all be paved to specific standards. Located on Amboy Road, approximately half a mile east of Adobe Road, the project is zoned commercial tourist on the southern half of the 10-acre property and residential single-family on the northern half. The 5 acres to be developed would be fenced and ATVs would be discouraged. The property would be carbon neutral, dark sky compliant, and the community would be allowed to use the facilities for a membership fee. The Planning Commission approved adopting a negative declaration and approved a conditional use permit for the development of the resort. The Commission examined whether a smog check station should be allowed to operate on the southeast corner of Adobe Road and 29 Palms Highway, where it is zoned for downtown general land use. If the Commission decided to classify this business as automotive repair minor, it would not be allowed to operate in this location. After much deliberation, the Commission agreed to label the business as drive-through non-food, as there were no repairs to be performed. City staff and the Community Development Director were asked to revisit this matter at the next meeting on November 4th in order to add development specifics related to a smog check station. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
The Morongo Valley Community Services District Board of Directors will hold their regular 6 p.m. meeting tonight, delayed from last week, in Covington Park's multipurpose room. Reporter Gabriel Hart has the meeting's agenda.
For the meeting's agenda, the district has partnered with CAL FIRE to provide personnel with valuable training opportunities and to strengthen interagency relationships. It's recommended that the Board of Directors review, discuss, and approve Fire Crew 461's travel to Yucca Valley twice a month to train alongside CAL FIRE crews within their operational domain. To provide better clarity for community members on identifying staff during community events and interactions on district property when working, it is recommended that the Board of Directors review and discuss updating the dress code policy for the employee handbook. Updating the district logo to help modernize the agency's public image will also be discussed. It is recommended that the Board of Directors receive and file the 2025 Morongo Valley Recreation's Facilities Summary as an information document outlining the district's current recreation facilities, maintenance practices, and community partnerships. This summary serves as a reference document for future planning, funding, and reporting purposes. Staff is requesting a revision to the dollar amounts for the voluntary revenue program. The goal is to promote greater participation in the program and drive revenue. It is recommended that the Board of Directors review, discuss, and approve lower dollar amounts for the voluntary revenue plan. And finally, office staff is requesting board approval to obtain a debt collection agency to assist with recovering outstanding balances owed to the district. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Gabriel Hart.
And finally, an electronic changeable message sign was installed on 29 Palms Highway yesterday. The sign, put up by the California Department of Transportation, known as Caltrans, is one of 3 being installed along the highway, officially known as State Route 62, this year. Located on the eastbound side of the highway near the border of Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree, the large sign towers at least 20 feet in the air, less than a quarter mile down the road from the Welcome to Joshua Tree sign. As of Wednesday morning, the sign is not actively showing messages. It is expected to provide current information about traffic conditions, possibly including wait times at entrances to Joshua Tree National Park. 2 additional signs are being installed on the eastbound side of 29 Palms Highway at the top of the Yucca Grade and on the westbound side of the highway at the east end of 29 Palms. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.